Well, hello, legends, and welcome back to our first Ruck Report for 2020. Of course, I'm your host, Joey the Prophet, and I am joined by two of my favourite people in the whole wide world. Let's start off with the man who's underneath me, actually, if you're looking at a video, but it's my one and only Weeksy. Dale, how are you, buddy?
Yeah, going good, mate. I love having the NRL back. It's best time of the year.
Oh,
I think is the video messed up? Do we need to restart?
yeah, it was good, mate. Sorry. No, no. All good. We just had a little bit of technical difficulty there, mate. It is great to hear your voice. Great to have Rugby League back, as you said. Of course, joining us as well, Dale's favourite fan base, a Sharks fan. It's the one and only Dougie. Dougie, how are you, mate?
I'm good, thanks, mate. How are you?
Mate, I am very good. It's, of course, great. Please jump in. If you are putting comments in the Instagram Live, we'll read them out as we go. Wick Coffee said kebabs all around. Thank you, Wick. Yes, look, we do love a good kebab and up the doggies, but we'll get to that in a second. Boys, Vegas. Now, what a time to be alive, hey? You know, Rugby League is back on our TV screens, and it was absolutely fantastic. Boys, let's start off with the first game that we witnessed today, the Knights and the Cowboys. Now, for those that listened to Dale and I, we did a preview last week, a live preview, and we actually both tipped the Knights in this game. Dale, I'll start off with you. The Knights, were you impressed or were they just lucky?
No, it got exactly what I thought I was going to see, honestly. I think they were just hugely underestimated. Even though we've talked a bit of smack about the Cowboys, being more negative than the Knights being positive. I was thrilled with what I saw from Newcastle, especially Kalen Ponga. Late inclusion into my super coach team. I was tossing up whether or not I was going to start with him this year.
Absolutely.
So glad I jumped
really
on.
led this team, and so he should have as well as captain.
Yeah, absolutely. I was tossing up beside having him or not having him, and I made the late decision to get him in.
We
So
are
glad I
having
did.
technical difficulties for one moment. Sorry. Yeah, mate. It's look, I toyed with the idea of having him in Supercoach for a while. 600K. I mean, he was an absolute bargain, absolute steal. So he was one that I thought about. I ran him in NRL Fantasy, but not in Supercoach. So look, I was rewarded there, which was great. Doug, let's talk a bit about the Cowboys now. A lot of people have the Cowboys not doing too well in 2026, and I know you didn't catch much of this game, but from what you heard, it seemed that way, didn't it?
Yeah. I mean, Cowboys, they look to be like, to be the team that we're going to be in a better form and to come away with a win. But I don't know, I'm not sure what really happened with them. Like, credit to the Knights where credit's due. Like they come up victorious and 10 points in the lead. So. But yeah, I don't know. Is it troublesome signs for the Cowboys this early on? Is it too early to say that it's troubling for their season? I guess we'll have to wait and see.
I think it's definitely troubling. I think a lot of people have made note that Todd Payton could be the first coach sacked this season. With performances like that, he certainly could. I was really impressed with Newcastle. A lot of talk was made of the Dylan Brown signing, and I was one of the harshest critics as well that said, you've signed him 13 mil. What's he going to do? I thought he was okay. I thought he was pretty good in this game. Obviously, he had to bide his time and build into it, but I thought Brown was pretty good. We saw the Knights in the trials, and they got pumped by the doggies and actually didn't score a point. And everyone went, oh, no, Knights got the wooden spoon last year. They're going to continue that. But credit to them. They played really well, and they looked great. A couple of comments here. Wick Coffee said PVL hair. Yeah, did you see the little toupee that he had flying around? She said Knights are going to upset a few teams this year, and Sharp was impressive. Absolutely. I think Fletcher Sharp, Razor Sharp, as shout out to Link from the United, Razor Sharp, he calls him, fantastic player. But boys, let's jump into the second game, the Doggies against the Dragons. Now, what a game this was. I mean, The Doggies getting it done, 15-14 in a Golden Point thriller. Stephen Crichton is made for the big stage. Talk about Vegas and lights, camera, action. Stephen Crichton entered the room. Dale, the Doggies, they they won the game, but I wasn't very impressed. I thought I was expecting more. What were you expecting out of them, mate?
Yeah, well, I put all my balls in the dog's basket, and I was on the edge of my seat.
Mhm.
Luckily, these betting agencies carry on your bets until golden point. That's all I could say. So, yeah, I can't believe it got to that, but credit to the Dragons. They fought right to the
Mhm.
very end, and the Dogs a lot of silly mistakes. Not to throw anyone under the bus, but Statili Tupanua. The amount of errors and silly mistakes that guy made, but then again, it's a team game, and they all work together, and they got the job done at the end.
They did, mate. They certainly did. Doug, the Dragons, I think a lot of people have them for the spoon this year, but quietly, I was very impressed.
Oh yeah, look, I mean, that sort of game, like, what does it say about either team? Like, does it say that the Dragons did well, or did the Dogs do
Mm,
absolutely like rubbish? But no, credit to the
yeah,
Dragons. Like,
exactly.
they really fought. They fought with them off, but they fought back as well. And to lose it in gold point by 1 point, like, even though it's only the first game of the round, it's still heartbreaking to see. Even though I tipped the Dogs, I would have with that sort of a game, I would have liked the Dragons to come out on top.
Yeah, well, let's talk about a couple of players in this game. Obviously, Stephen Crichton and Valentine Holmes off that little scrum play, they were going at each other. I thought Stephen Crichton had the better of Val Holmes in this game. Two veterans going at it, which was fantastic to see. Lockie Galvin, probably, I don't think he set the world alight. He had a few good moments. I think the Galvin to Preston combination was really good. And if he can get that going throughout the season, that'll be really, really great to see. Jacob Preston, of course, did what he does best, and he was electric in this game. But look, credit to the Dragons. It was great to see young Setu 2 got a try on debut. He's actually 27, so a bit older in terms of rugby league debutants, but thought he had a really good game at the back. They kept peppering him. They kept putting the ball up to him, and he just kept holding it. A couple of comments here. Miss Emma84 said Cowboys looked gas in the first 20 minutes. Knights goal line defense looked impressive. Absolutely. Corner Post said, hi, guys. And then Wick Coffee said they lost their own game. Holmes was injured. Why go for him? And then Preston, the gun forward. Absolutely. Dale, any players that impressed you in this game?
Well, it's obviously going to be the players that are in my super coach team. They're the ones that I had eyes locked on into in the game. Jacob Carraz. I mean, the
Yeah.
guy looks like he does very little on the TV, but somehow he just loves scoring those hundreds. Those what do you call them? Those I forget the
Tons.
name, but like those ghost points. You don't know how he's getting
Yeah, yeah,
them, but
yeah.
they're there.
Yeah, mate. He was fantastic again. I mean, he's such a superstar of our game. There was a lot of talk that he was injured coming into this match, so it was really good to see him play and to see him get a try as well. Uh, Doug, do, do you believe the hype on the Dragons this year? A lot of people saying they're going to get the spoon. Do you think that will be the case, or do you think they're a bit better than that?
Look, I think they're a bit better than that. But at the same time, you can't rule it out. I
Yeah.
don't think they're going to come last. They're not going to be the wooden spoon, but they won't be far away
Mm.
from it.
Yeah, it's hard. I mean, look, I look at their team across the board and I go, it's okay without being great. Obviously, 2027, they welcome Keon Koloamatangi, which is huge, massive signing for them.
Mm.
I think they might make a play for Mitch Barnett as well. If they can land him and Koloamatangi up front, that would be fantastic for their forward back. But, boys, let's talk a little bit about Vegas. Now, this is the third year of the concept, of course, heading into a fourth season next year, and it's done really well. Doug, you were talking off air a little bit about the crowd. Do you want to take us through that, mate?
Oh, yeah. I mean, this year in particular was just one thing I noticed, tuning in to the second game in particular, that the turnout, like they've got a lot of people coming to these games for a sport that doesn't actually like exist in that country. It exists
Yeah.
for one day of the calendar year and only has done for the last 3 years. But this game this afternoon with the Dogs and the Dragons had probably more people than you'd get at Allianz, or you
Yeah.
get it there that you get it just at a Sydney game, a Sydney side home game, and it just blew my mind. I was like, wow, like it's got a fair bit of reach now. Like everyone sort of doubted taking the first 2 rounds over to the States, going, oh, it's not going to do anything. Like that the US don't care. And I was saying to my wife earlier this afternoon, it was just that I think that the Americans find it an intriguing sport that there's just raw bodies on the line running at each other.
Yeah.
There's no padding, there's no protection, and they love it. And I think they just love the absolute raw and brutality of rugby league.
Oh, they do. I mean, look, we're sports fans ourselves, boys, and we've watched a bit of NFL in our time. And you sort of watch the NFL and you go, man, like they hit hard, but they also wear shin pads
Yeah, well,
and
yeah,
elbow
that's
pads,
right. Like,
helmets. Yeah.
yeah, the hits are hard, but like it's not going to hurt as much as someone just dropping a shoulder straight into your rib cage. You know what I mean? Like,
100%, 100%. Yeah, no, look,
yeah,
it's great to see such a good turnout as well, as you said, in a country that doesn't really. I think because they follow NFL and they love big hits, they love seeing rugby league.
yeah.
We do have a really good question about Vegas. I'll just throw over to Wick Coffee here. Guys, interested your thoughts. Do you think the Vegas games affect the teams or players as individual performance? Dale, what do you reckon?
Um, well, if the question's like focused on affecting the teams in terms of getting your like the travel in and like getting your head around that you're in Vegas, you cross the other side of the world, even though you've had that time to recover from the jet lag and everything. There's got to be some amount of pressure on that.
Sure.
You're in a new country. Everyone's psyched to watch the not only the game being in Vegas, watched by Americans, but everyone's just pumped to have the footy season back. So of course
Yeah.
there's going to be that a bit of pressure. You're the first team coming off the huge off season. All the build up is surrounded around Vegas. All the advertisement, everything. It's a massive build up. But then again, it comes with the good and the bad. The pressure can also lead to a lot of confidence. You're in Las
Yeah.
Vegas. You want to come out. The goosebumps are all there. You're running out. You're psyching yourself up. Probably that pre-game Metallica in your ear, or all these shit's going on. So I definitely think it has an effect on players, both good and bad.
Yeah, for sure. Something Shane Flanagan came out and said during the week is that the Dragons arrived last Saturday, and he said when they first got there, he sort of let them go out and explore Vegas, check it out, rather than getting straight into training. Go and check out Vegas because he said while they're there, that's what they're going to want to do. So as
Mm.
you said there, you don't want to come in raw, you don't want to come in not knowing what is there. So I thought that was really good from Flano. Doug, in terms of heading back into Australia, obviously those teams won't play in round one, but they'll play again in
Mm.
round two. Do you think they recover pretty well? Like, would there still be a bit of jet lag? What do you think? How would that affect their performance?
I guess, to be honest, it's going to come down to the individual, isn't it? It's going to come down
Yeah.
to how each individual deals with that jet lag, how they prepare themselves for the coming week, for the coming round,
Mm,
for training. Like, if you've got a bloke that, gets off the plane and deals with his jet lag by just going to sleep, but it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon, then he's going to be up all fucking night, isn't he? But if you've got a bloke that goes, no, okay,
yeah.
I've landed, but my body clock's this, like I'm going to stay awake and I'm going to stay awake till 1 a.m., then I'm going to sleep till whenever, and like, try and reset their body clock straight away, then they're going to have a way better approach to round two. So
Oh, for
I
sure.
don't, I can't speak for a team as a whole saying that the jet
Yeah.
lag and the prep for the following round affects them, because it comes down to the individual player and how they
Yeah.
prepare themselves for that, for the upcoming round moving forward from Vegas.
Yeah. Yeah, I completely agree. I think, yeah, it's definitely on individual performance. Boys, a couple of questions we'll go through here. The corner post said bring on Thursday night. Cannot wait. Whit Coffey said Dogs protected Galvin well. I think so too. I thought they knew he's quite a small halfback, so it's always good to protect your small halfbacks. Craig Glover, shout out to good mate Craig of the show. He said, how was Crichton not sin binned? Now, that's a great question. I think we all know the moment he's talking about there. Dale, thoughts? Do you think it was a sin bin for Crichton, or did justice prevail?
Oh, I mean, I was hoping it would prevail, but so yeah. I mean, it could have really went either way, but I think for the ref to allow the game to keep going, especially it being in Vegas, was a good call. But then again, there was a sin bin in the other game, so
Yeah.
I mean, it is what it is. I wish I could say like it would not have changed the game, but obviously with all that momentum shifting forward and Crichton sealing the field goal, it definitely did make a huge difference. But
Yeah.
you can't dwell on it. You know, the game's judged by the referee. You got to suck it up and you got to keep going. You know, keep going until that final whistle goes.
Yeah, absolutely. Whit Coffey said he had intent. Burns didn't. It didn't happen in the first game. And then, Craig said again, contradicts the first in the first game. Burns accidentally hit Ponga. So some great comments there, guys. It was a really interesting one too. I thought the strip at the end which sort of got the Dogs in a great position for the field goal. Doug, you saw that strip at the end. Did you think that was the right call?
I'm going to be honest with you. I missed the strip at the end because I was busy cooking dinner.
It.
I did.
Oh,
I missed
fair.
it. I was busy cooking dinner, and I saw the field goal, but I missed the lead up.
No,
Yeah.
that's fine. Well, yeah, basically, look, I was okay with it. Dragons fans, of course, are going to say that it's not a strip. You know that's the nature of our game. I would do the same thing
The
for
biased
Roosters.
opinion, isn't
do the same thing. It's the biased opinion. You know, it's just how it is. It hurts. It does. It hurts absolutely. They get into a position they kick a field goal. Dale, what do you think of it? Was it the right call?
I was at the pub, so I had Dogs fans and Dragons fans all around me. The Dragons fans were definitely a lot louder than the Dogs
You
fans
both missed
were.
it.
No, I was there. The Dragons fans were obviously a lot louder. They were a lot more pissed off. I got to agree with the Dragons fans. I think they got hard
Yeah.
done by there. It shouldn't rough to put that call against them. Yeah, I don't think it was a penalty, not at all.
Yeah, we've just got a comment in from Retro Rugby League. Shout out to good mate Tom of the show. He said knock. Whit Coffey also said looked like a knock on. So very interesting there. I was actually okay with it. But again, those 50-50 calls are what's for opposition fans. So look, I think it could have went either way. It's so hard, isn't it? I just hope this year in 2026 we see a really good refereeing display most weeks and a great bunker display as well. But remains to be seen. Boys, Vegas has finished for another year. We head into round one, which is very, very exciting. Only in a couple of days. Going to be fantastic. Couple more comments before we finish up. Craig says, is it a case of the 50-50 calls go to the good teams and the bad calls go to the lower teams? Interesting one. Interesting. A lot of people were saying in this game that the Dogs had a bit of a rub of the green. The Dragons weren't getting a whole lot. Dale, as a Tigers fan, you must know this pretty well, mate. Do you think that's true?
No, not at all. I think a lot of it is self-inflicted. You know,
Yeah.
especially coming from a West Tigers fan, we do a lot of stupid things out on that field. We question it all the time. We're being back-to-back repeat offenders of giving away the most repeat sets. But with this game, I don't think it was anything to do with who's better, who's worse, who's more likely to finish on the ladder. I don't think it's any of that. I think just one team got favoured more cause than the other. It's just the way it is.
Yeah, and it's hard. As I said, as a fan, you feel hard done by, and that's in every game. It's how it is. A good mate of ours, the Saint, who was on our podcast, he said couldn't see why it was called a strip, and I just told him because it was stripped. But yeah, so he wasn't too happy with that. But yeah, look, it's it is what it is, really, and that's rugby league. But boys, very excited. Only a couple of days to go. We obviously said Leilua needs to control his attitude. He still looked like a spoiled kid. He did a little bit, but he looked pretty good in attack. So I thought he played very well. But look, that is it for our Vegas review. Thank you so much for everyone that tuned in the Instagram live. This will drop on YouTube as well. So if you haven't checked it out, you can go check it out now on YouTube. We'll drop that very shortly. But don't forget, tomorrow night is our next recording for 2026, our first proper episode of the year, episode 130. So very, very exciting. We cannot wait to be back with you and bring on the 2026 season. That episode will drop Wednesday, so make sure you check that out. Go give our sponsors a follow. Check out all the boys' social media as well. But until next time, that's Dale. That's Doug. I'm Joey. Be good.